Okay, so we are leaving off with, we just talked about the reasons for the Earth's tilt, and why we have our seasons. And speaking of our seasons, with seasons bring about weather. We have our regular weather like rain and, just cold and hot, and then we also have extreme weather. So, what causes extreme weather? Heat from the sun is an important factor when it comes to weather. It may create extremely high or low pressure, and that can lead to different types of disasters. Global warming may also influence weather. What is extreme weather exactly? It is definitely when weather is extremely different from usual or average weather patterns. Remember how we were talking about how climate is tracking weather patterns over a long period of time? Well, this is when those patterns shift and they do something different. It can be colder, hotter, wetter, drier, windier, anything than it is normally. It can be extremely destructive. So floods. Floods can occur when there's an overflow of water on land that is usually too dry. That's something that we are pretty used to, except for we experience it on a very mild level here in Arizona. Like our field will be flooded, but we can have floods that cover houses and are really serious. Then we have a drought. And this occurs when no rain falls for long periods of time. It can last for months, years, and periods of high heat may worsen the drought itself. Food crops, so growing food like corn and wheat, those tend to suffer. Dust storms, we definitely get those. They're very strong winds which pick up and carry clouds of soil, dust, and sand. They occur in very dry conditions and in areas like Arizona, desert climates. Then we have tornadoes, which we talked a little bit about earlier this year when doing ELA passages. A tornado is a funnel-shaped rotating cloud that comes from a thunderstorm and may touch the ground. These whirling winds can reach up to 300 miles per hour. Then we have just a regular thunderstorm. So thunderstorms may bring heavy rain, lightning, humid weather, hail, loud thunder. It can strike the ground and as well as people, and it definitely damage property and start fires. We also have heat waves, which is a period of several days or even weeks of super high temperatures and abnormal weather. Water may become scarce because the ground is kind of absorbing it all. Then we have a monsoon, which is a torrential rainstorm and wind that can last for weeks. These occur in subtropical areas such as like South Asia and on the Indian Ocean. We have severe fog, which is dense layers of clouds, but they're on the ground and or over water. This is pretty common in Michigan to have fog days. So basically those are days where you cannot see your hand if you stick it out in front of you. So we wouldn't have school, or maybe people wouldn't be able to drive because you cannot see. Snowstorms, they are heavy and rapid falling. It's just a ton of snow falling. They are usually accompanied by high winds, and a snowstorm is usually categorized as at least 6 inches of snow. That would be a really bad one. But then we also have hailstorms, which it's almost snow, but not quite. They're solid water falling to the ground during a storm. So they're like little balls of ice, and they can be very powerful. They can break windows and glass. Okay, so we are exploring that weather. So you have 2 readings to do for this. One about storms, tornadoes, and hurricanes, and one about droughts. a drought is something that is not uncommon to this area or the West Coast in general. Storms, tornadoes, and hurricanes. So you're going to go ahead and read both of these. I read the last two to you, but I think we're getting the gist now. So you're going to take the quizzes. You have two quizzes, one on storms, tornadoes, and hurricanes, one on droughts. Okay, so you're going to take both of these quizzes. You need to record both of them in the hyperdoc. We need to make sure we're opening the hyperdoc into Google Docs and filling out every single step as you're required to do so. Additionally, you will need to research one of these types of storms. So any floods, droughts, dust storms, tornadoes, thunderstorms, heat waves, monsoon, severe fogs, snowstorms, or hailstorms. You'll need to do a little bit of research this week. Find one particular storm. Bad storms usually have names, so you could type in the most dangerous snowstorm and read about it and tell me a little bit about it. Okay, so I want at least 4 to 6 sentences on one type of weather and a famous storm that has been caused. Okay, so this is hyperdoc number 4, and you are working on pages 11, 12, 13, and 14. Fortunately, none of these pages actually require you to write anything down. They're just more so used as notes. Remember, you can use your notes on any quizzes and tests in science. Okay, good luck.